Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. As you guys can see, we are in the third bay and something is missing. Well, what is missing is the Corvette, and that's because it is over at the tuners right now. So I'm not sure whether this video will fall in the lineup of what videos are upcoming, but basically the Corvette's at the dyno, so we've got some time to work on the Silverado. And what we got today for you is kind of mostly an appearance mod, but also some kind of trick modifications that we'll be doing at the same time. And so yeah, so what this appearance mod is, it's basically going to be an entire blackout kit for all of the badges. So you guys can see I got two kits here. We got the first kit is the 87834896. That's going to be the ZR2 blackout logos. So there's 4 badges with that. Then this other kit, 84950119, that is this blackout Silverado emblem kit. Honestly guys, the only thing that we needed here were the engine size decals as well as the Silverado font. We don't need the custom because, well, we don't have a custom. So basically these are the GM Blackout trim kits. I think these were roughly $100 each, something like that. Now we are going to be modifying 3 or 4 of those before we actually install that. But because we're going to have to use the factory stuff, we're going to have to use this stuff, kind of make a really cool piece. And then the tools that you're going to need for today is going to be a heat gun, an eraser wheel, an X-Acto knife, and what I don't have here is some painter's tape, just some blue 3M tape from Lowe's or whatever. So if you have all those, you guys should be able to do this project one badge at a time. So the first thing I did was I sprayed off the area with quick detailer and a rag. You just want to make sure your work surface is clean, and then I basically taped off the top outside edge. And if you guys can see, this ZR2 badge is actually warped. The Z part down here, it's actually kind of facing downhill, but the rest of it's straight. So it's kind of weird that, you know, this little part of the Z did kind of warp. So what we're gonna do is go ahead, take the heat gun, heat this thing up and try to peel it off slowly. We got the ZR2 badge off, and I did use the eraser wheel. Did use a little bit of quick detailer to try to get some of this eraser wheel gunk off, but I think I might have to just use a little bit of polishing compound to get that rest of that off. All right, a little bit of ultimate compound, got all of those chunks off. We're good to go. What we're gonna be doing is something a little bit trick. What I'm gonna do is actually take the red ZR2 logo and put it in the blacked out badge. This is not an option from General Motors, but if you guys look at the back of the red part, all you gotta do is pop off these little tabs, and that's what the X-Acto knife is for. Pop those tabs off. We're gonna pop the tabs off the black 2 and swap the red for the black. See, we have our modified blackout ZR2 badge with the red 2 from the factory ZR2 emblem from this one right here, and you guys can see that that is all done and installed. Now over here on the driver's side, we're going to do the same thing. You guys can see we did an outline of tape around the logo. We're going to remove the dealership emblem as well while we're out here, and here is the Silverado badge. So we have a complete chrome delete on the back. That's at least factory. As you can see, we got the black ZR2 emblems installed. Yes, the 2 is missing. I will explain that in a minute. But basically, we used the same install method. Taped off the previous badge, took the sticker off with the eraser wheel, and we're going to be good to go. As you can see, we got the black 6.2 liter badge on. We got the ZR2 badge on as well. And the 2 is missing because that is actually covered in lacquer paint. If you guys can see here, the finish is all screwed up. How did I do that? I tried to use acetone to clean this off, just, you know, real light rubbing, and the red paint came right off. Now the other emblem, actually, I pretty much destroyed it. So what we're going to be doing is basically taking the black ZR2s that we popped out of there, we're going to paint those, and I actually have to paint match the front emblem anyway. If you guys look, this ZR2 badge does not come out. It is one piece, and you know, there's nothing to pop out. So I needed to paint this front badge anyway, so I decided, well, since I have to get some paint for another upcoming project, we might as well go ahead, paint all this stuff, and then clear coat everything all in one shot. So yeah, so lesson learned. If you guys have to clean off that red badge on the ZR2 logo, if you have the stock badge, don't put anything harsh on it because it'll take the finish right off. And I had no idea that that was painted in lacquer. Here's another problem I ran into. As we'll see, a nice chunk of paint missing. And that paint is missing because I decided to use my rubber erasing wheel that we used on the fenders without issue. Took the clear coat right off. So guys, basically the paint on this truck sucks. That's why actually there's a recall on the hood. So yeah, so I had a badge missing. I had 3 chunks of clear coat missing, and I'm kind of like, well, what do I do? So I went ahead and installed the black badge anyway. The truck has to get the hood repainted as part of a recall anyway, because these hoods actually have chipped and missing paint. It had a clear ball on it, but if you guys could see, the clear ball is rubbing right there. There's a hole right here. There's gonna be another one here, and then the back 2 corners where the badges are, there's also gonna be some holes over there. Basically, the hood scoop rubs on the paint and it causes that paint to flick off. Now, I think I've got one opportunity for the GM to repaint the hood. After that, it's all on me. Basically, this recall involves taking the hood scoop off, painting the hood, and then putting the scoop back on. So while we're there, I'll just pay the extra to have the hood scoop painted, and you know, we'll fix it then. So I know I kind of freaked out, but then I was like, well, it has to come off anyway, so I'm not really freaking out about it. Don't use anything harsh on the black hood scoop because it'll take the clear coat right off, which is kind of weird. And the other lesson learned would be the red lettering in your badges. Don't put anything harsh on there either, because that is actually lacquer paint. So I would almost bet that the other emblems are also lacquer based paint, because it's kind of weird. Like, why would you only put lacquer based paint on one of them? So yeah, that's just a hard lesson learned with the paint. I just cleaned it off with this wax and grease remover from Spray Max, and I'm gonna be using this SEM plastic adhesion promoter. Basically, since these are plastic parts, you do want the stuff to stick. All right, you can see that it is wet, and basically the instructions for this SEM material is light coat, let it get dry for 5 minutes, and then come back with a second heavy coat. All right, I've primered both of the 2s twice now, so we should be good. All right, guys, the base coat has come in, and as you guys can see, this is a GM Flame Red. The paint code is WA8774-A. I think it's just WA8774 will be the paint code. And as you guys can see, that's a pretty bright red. And yeah, so that should look pretty good on the 2s that we've got to paint up. All right, you guys can see we've done our first coat of the fire red. There's no metallic in this red, so honestly, guys, just kind of be careful with it. I basically sprayed it in each direction because you want to make sure you've got full coverage on this, because these logos are kind of 3D, if that makes sense. So you're gonna see it at different angles. You want to make sure you get everything covered. It's from R&E Paint Supply. I think they're based out of Arkansas. They will custom make you any GM paint code in an aerosol form. So I believe the can was like 18 bucks, something like that. We're only going to use probably maybe a quarter of it, and I'll be able to use this on things in the future. But they will basically sell you a 1K paint in a aerosol can. So any custom color that you want, they'll make for you. So you guys don't have to use those cheap lacquer-based paints from Duplicolor. And I had really good luck with this on my old truck. So we're gonna use that for these emblems. And the only thing I would say, 2 things. Make sure you clean out this tip all the time, take it off, clean the nozzle off, and make sure you shake these a lot. That's kind of the one thing I've noticed with R&E. They kind of overfill the bottles. So like I said, just make sure you clean it off, make sure you clean the tip out, and you should be good to go. All right, guys, that is 2 full coats on there. This is gonna take a while to dry. We'll turn both fans on, and we're gonna let this air dry. All right, guys, and there you go. That is the wrap up of the ZR2 project with the 6.2 badges, the ZR2 badges that we customized by using the OEM pieces, and then the Silverado badge out back. So pretty simple install. All you gotta do is just tape it off, make sure you mark it off where you want it, and put the new decals and stickers and all the emblems back on there. Like I said, be aware of the lacquer paint on the red. That'll come right off. And make sure you use some clear coat. I use some 2K clear coat on that to make sure that that never happens again. And then on the hood scoop itself, don't use an eraser wheel because you'll take the paint, actually the clear coat, right off of that as well. So we still have to get that resolved. We'll get that fixed up in a future video, but that's it for now. If you guys like this video, hit that like button. If you guys want to see more ZR2 content, hit that subscribe button, turn on your bell notifications. If you guys want to help support the channel, check out all the links down below. I include part numbers for everything that we bought. And make sure you check out our website, BonecrrusherSS.com. Any help you can give there goes right back into the channel, the projects, the truck, the Corvette, etc. So thanks, guys. Have a great one.